Today, we're going to be taking a look at some fascinating articles you guys sent in about a major shakeup at the Washington Post. It seems like Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon and the Washington Post, is making waves with his new vision for the paper's opinion section. And the implications for journalistic integrity have sparked quite a debate. Okay, so let's unpack this. Bezos recently announced that he wants the opinion section to champion personal liberties and free markets. And he's made it clear that he doesn't want any dissenting viewpoints on these topics. He even said, and I'm quoting directly from one of your sources here, "Our country did not get here by being typical. And a big part of America's success has been freedom in the economic realm and everywhere else. Freedom is ethical, it minimizes coercion and practical, it drives creativity, invention, and prosperity." As you flagged this quote in your notes, I think it's a great place to start. What's fascinating here is the emphasis on freedom and the connection to economic prosperity. It almost echoes the Wall Street Journal's tagline, "Free markets, free people," don't you think? But this new direction has raised some eyebrows, particularly from David Shipley, the Post's longtime opinion editor. Shipley tried to push back against Bezos' vision, arguing for a more inclusive approach to opinion writing, but Bezos reportedly gave him a hell yes or no ultimatum. Talk about a power move, right? Faced with this choice, Shipley decided to resign, sending shockwaves through the Washington Post and the wider journalistic community. He even told his staff he needed to figure out how to best move forward in the profession he loves. You have to wonder what this says about the kind of environment Bezos is fostering at the Post. Is there room for genuine debate and dissent, or is it becoming an echo chamber for Bezos' own ideology? That's a question a lot of the Washington Post staff are grappling with right now. Jeff Stein, the paper's chief economics reporter, didn't hold back his criticism, calling Bezos' decision a massive encroachment, and even hinting that he might quit if Bezos starts interfering with the news side of the paper. And it's not just Stein. During his staff meeting, Shipley himself addressed the concerns of his team, who were clearly feeling anxious and uncertain about the future. He tells us that Bezos was looking for a focused report, one that aligns with his vision. But how do you achieve that without potentially silencing dissenting voices? Now, you also highlighted some concerns about the specific areas Bezos wants to focus on, personal liberties and free markets. And this is where it gets really interesting, because those terms can encompass a wide range of issues, from economic policy to social justice, even things like healthcare and education. Think about it. If the Washington Post is only going to publish opinions that align with Bezos' views on these topics, what happens to the voices that disagree? Will we only see articles praising the virtues of unregulated capitalism or downplaying the role of government in protecting individual rights? And this bridges to another important point you brought up in your notes, the departures of prominent liberal voices from the Washington Post, even before this latest shakeup. You mentioned Jennifer Rubin, a well-known conservative turned liberal columnist who left the paper last year. And then there's Ann Telmis, the Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist, known for her sharp, often satirical commentary. Interestingly, one of Telmis' cartoons critical of Bezos was reportedly killed, meaning it wasn't published, and she ended up leaving the Post shortly after. These departures, along with Bezos' new directive, certainly raise questions about whether there's space for dissenting voices at the Post anymore. Of course, the paper's leadership has tried to reassure the staff that the changes are only affecting the opinion section and won't impact the newsroom's mission of pursuing engaging, impactful journalism without fear or favor. But can you really draw a clear line between opinion and news? Don't they influence each other? And what about the overall tone and direction of the Post? Will it inevitably lean more towards Bezos' own beliefs, even if the news reporting itself remains factually accurate? These are questions that journalists both inside and outside the Post are wrestling with. This situation also brings up a broader issue than exploring: the growing influence of billionaires in the media landscape. What happens when individuals with vast wealth and strong personal ideologies control powerful media outlets? Do they have a responsibility to maintain a diversity of opinions? Or do they have the right to use their platforms to promote their own worldview? It's a complex question with no easy answers, but it's a question we need to keep asking, especially in an era where media ownership is increasingly concentrated in the hands of a few. This whole Bezos situation at the Washington Post, it really brings to light a trend that you've been noticing, like this blurring of lines between news and opinion. It's getting trickier and trickier to distinguish between, like objective reporting and content that's shaped by personal beliefs or agendas. It's almost like, to put it simply, it's like you're trying to bake a cake but you're using salt instead of sugar. The result just isn't quite right. Think about it this way. Imagine trying to understand a complex issue, like climate change, but the only information available comes from sources that just deny its existence. That's a potential danger of this blurring of lines. We need news sources that we can trust, sources that provide a balanced perspective, and it allows us to form our own opinions. So what can we do? Well, for starters, I think we need to be more aware of these biases and approach news with a critical eye. Don't just accept everything you read or hear at face value. Do your own research, consult multiple sources, and consider different viewpoints. Think of it as diversifying your information portfolio. You wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And just as important, I think we need to support independent journalism. Subscribe to publications that are known for their integrity and commitment to unbiased reporting. Donate to nonprofit news organizations that are doing the essential work of holding the powerful accountable. These organizations often rely on the support of engaged citizens like you. The future of journalism depends on us being informed and engaged citizens who demand quality, unbiased reporting. It's our right, and it's our responsibility. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the shakeup at the Washington Post, a story that raises some crucial questions about the future of journalism and the role of media ownership in our society. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that matter. Thanks for listening.